How you doing, folks? This is Getting to Know Bob and his family, and this is our part of our family here, our plow truck. We all love our plow truck, especially when she works, which she has had a few issues here. We bought her for $1,250, plow and all, and 1986 F250. It's got the big 400 motor in it. We've gone ahead and had the motor redone. We did what they call a poor man's rebuild, which is the crankcase, new crank, bearings, and heads. Got that done. We had real bearings replaced. I think she's in pretty good shape now. Talk to you later. Welcome back to ClassicCarRestoration.com, where you, the do-it-yourself, will fix up your vehicle to the standards you want to fix it up. Well, we're back with the Land Cruiser here. And we're working our way forward, doing all the body work. We finished the bed like we discussed last week, and we're moving forward. We looked at the dash in a quick clip not too long ago, and the problem we got here is frozen hinges, corroded shut. I've cut the bracket. I had to cut the brackets off inside that hold the window shut, thinking I would just flop down the window, but no siree, she wouldn't go down. And I've soaked it for several days now with liquid wrench. I've tried jarring it, but I'm afraid I'm going to bend the bracket or wreck the windshield here. So what we're going to do is we are going to heat it up. We're going to throw some heat at it here with this oxyacetylene torch. Okay, this bad boy here can heat metal up red hot, and that's what we're going to do. Is we're going to heat this up, probably not red hot, because we just want to heat it up enough to expand the metal, because metal expands as you heat it, and we want to go ahead and heat it enough to break that corroded seal in there so we can lower that windshield down and do some body work on it, get it functional again. So we'll go ahead and light the torch off here. Start with a little bit of acetylene, crack it ever so slightly, okay? Light her off. Okay. We'll get her going here with some oxygen in there, and we'll start applying heat to it. Okay, so we heated both of those hinges up, bright red hot. We applied some force to it, and guess what? She works like a champ now. So before you go ahead and break your windshield or your hinges or bend something, remember, you can always apply heat, expand the metal, because metal has a coefficient of expansion, and as you put heat to it, all that loosens up, and then you can snap that little corroded joint open. Okay, quick clip. We've freed up our windshield with the heat, as you can see, and we're able to clean up and now inspect the condition of the windshield. This sucker's been stuck shut probably since day one of installation, and you can see in here all this little small bits of corrosion, that are going on. So we got two choices. We can either ditch this and start looking in the boneyards and calling up some of the used parts dealer for a new windshield, or we can go ahead and make some local repairs. Since this vehicle has got a lot of rust on it, I think Brett and I have done a pretty good job of fixing it up, along with help from my son Marcel, but it's not going to be a perfect vehicle, and we're trying to get by with something that anybody could do with just peanuts on the dollar. So we're going to take this die grinder. Basically, it's a stone, composite stone that they've wrapped around a shaft that you can put in your drill here. And I recommend using an electric drill. This is the Magnum, the Milwaukee Magnum. It's got a lot more power than your battery-operated screw guns do. So for this particular operation, as well as drilling, as we saw when we were removing that bolt, I always use power tools with a capital P for 110 volt. Okay, so what you do is you'll take this little die grinder, and we'll go into these little areas, and we'll grind them back until we get to solid metal. So you'll see how easy this goes. You have to just kind of get in there and start working at it. And you want to get as much of that corrosion out of there as you can, because it's not doing anybody any good in there. So it's kind of like being a dentist, you just get in there into the little nooks and crannies and get all of the bad stuff out. Okay, now that we'll go ahead and continue working on here, and we'll be back with you in just a little bit. Okay, so we got the this corroded area here all ground back, and I got it. So I got about 18 gauge sheet metal equivalent here. So I've ground the corrosion back. If it's so corroded that it just keeps on going, then you got to get rid of the part. But I was able to get this thing back in all areas where I had the same thickness of the metal that I'm installing. So I'm going ahead and cutting out myself a small piece of sheet metal here, and then I'll weld that into this hole here. So I'm going to first shape my little piece of sheet metal, and then we're going to mold that in there, and then we're going to weld it. You've seen me do that before, so we won't waste any more of your time on this particular application because I'm sure you're pretty good at it. We'll talk to you later. Well, the end of another episode. Remember, classic car restoration at live.com. Okay, you see it right there. Give us a buzz if you got a question or need some advice on something. Check you later.